So I want to take a moment just to set the record straight for the nation and ask you, did President Trump's executive order in March about closing the department ever tell you to ignore the law?
No, in fact, it says specifically in the executive order to do it lawfully.
Exactly. It very clearly says, and let me just quote it for the record, the Secretary of Education shall, to the maximum extent appropriate and permitted by law, take all necessary steps to facilitate the closure of the Department of Education and return authority over education to the states and local communities while ensuring the effective and uninterrupted delivery of services, programs, and benefits on which Americans rely. It seems that Congress is the one out of line with the Constitution in establishing a Department of Education in the first place. And I, for one, happen to agree 100% with you and President Trump that we must send education back to our states. But that process doesn't mean ignoring the laws on the books. So what steps have you taken to follow the Constitution and carry out President Trump's lawful order to move the Department of Education toward closure?
Well, what I've said from the beginning, in fact, in my confirmation hearing, when I was asked specifically, I said I would like to work with Congress as we look at the plans for shutting down the Department of Education and which of those agencies can carry out the obligations that are currently now funneling through the Department of Education. So it was always my goal, and will continue to be my goal, as I know it will take congressional action to close the Department of Education, to work with Congress to do that.
So are there any specific needs from Congress that you have that you would ask us to help in accomplishing your task?
I think they will come as we want to sit down, as we lay out more the plan and the timeline, you know, for where we think different agencies could accommodate the role right now of the Department of Education.
Okay. On another subject, Madam Secretary, do you agree that it is a privilege for foreign students to attend American universities and not a right?
I do think it is a privilege.
And do you agree that it's a privilege for universities to enroll foreign students, not a right?
I think the right, the education here in our country, I mean, I think it is a privilege for those foreign students to come and attend our universities.
And do you agree that the safety of American students should be a top priority, especially when considering who to let on campus?
Yes, I do.
Well, recently, the Department of State announced a temporary pause in interviews for student visas with plans to update the policies on screening, even social media for applicants. And this comes after we've seen just the incredible rise in the violent and anti-Semitic protest on college campuses across the nation. And I want to ask you in just a closing seconds, has your department noticed a connection between schools that fail to follow the law and report foreign donations and the prevalence of anti-Semitism on campuses?
Well, one of the things that we've asked, in fact, this is exactly one of the issues that came up with Harvard. So we are looking at all universities now and investigating to make sure that under that Section 117, they are, as they are required, reporting the amounts and sources of those donations to the universities.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much again for the work that you're doing. And Mr. Chairman, with that, I yield back my time.
I thank the gentleman. I recognize my friend, the ranking member, representative from Virginia, Mr. Scott.
Thank you, and thank you, Madam Secretary, for being with us today. I have a lot of questions, and hopefully I can get some quick answers. I try to phrase them in a way that they can get some quick answers. Do you intend to comply with the May 22nd court order?
The May 22nd, in which we are joined in this particular aspect, can you be more specific?
The court order issued on May 22nd requiring you to, that prevented you from dismantling the department?
Oh, right. Yes, we will always comply with the law.
Okay, and you indicated proposals for the Department of Education going forward. Can we count on receiving those proposals as they are made? We've asked for that information.
We'd certainly like to comply with Congress and provide you with those.